saying it was my own fault and it was nice knowing you.
Well, that would be a useful facility, I agree, but cockroaches are great survivors. I mean, they've been around for over 300 million years. They're one of the most primitive insects.
Alright. Well, I've also, is it true that they do a lot of resting? Apparently they can sort of rest for 75% of the time.
Rest?
Yeah, they just sit about doing nothing.
It's probably true of a vast proportion of the world's fauna. Well,
I mean, maybe the 25% that they are working, they're really giving it some, so it might make up.
They're probably searching out food and, yeah, they can slow down considerably. You can chill insects in the fridge and they'll become very, very quiet. You might think they're dead.
Yeah, but I'm sure, you know, if we were sat in a fridge, you know, we'd go a bit quiet, wouldn't we, you know?
Well, you might not know much about it, of course.
Yeah, but...
Not quite reading the right sources.
Well, I've been using the internet.
I'm sure there are many useful sources that you could find there, but some of those seem to have been a little misleading to you.
So you don't agree with a lot of what I've told you there?
No.
So, cockroaches, can we get rid of them?
No.
So we're keeping them then?
I would say so, yeah.
I think we should get her on more often because she sounds like she'd be a bit of an ally, really. Because she knew immediately that you were talking nonsense. She even said, I think you should be more concerned about your sources, which I've been trying to tell you for a year, right? The fact, I mean 18 knees, where did you get that from?
It's on the internet.
They can hold their breath for 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know what you read and take on.
Mad world, don't it?
Right.
The Cure, obviously.
Yeah.
That song.
Right, Carl's been taking phone calls for these clues. Right, and so everyone's been saying the same thing for the last one. He's been going, no, and I'm worried, I'm always worried. FD. I just overheard him on the call there going, ah, what have I been saying? Oh, no, it's FP. Dickhead. Right, give me the clues out, it's a rollover. Right, tell people, we're really sorry to anyone who won, it'll be a rollover, so we have to do 3 new ones.
Do you not write these down,
You're such a...
I don't write the answers down in case Ricky looks over the thing and sees the answer.
Why would I cheat? I'd rather you do something right with your life.
Right, well the clues were, I've got 3 other jumpers like this one.
Yeah.
That was FT.
Yeah.
You got that, 4 tops.
Yeah, that's alright. Good, well done.
That bunch of people can't make up their minds if they'd want to sit in the sun or not. That was C, they were getting that. That was charlatans. Charlatan, right? A bunch of them charlatans, right?
What what's Charlie?
No, it's like, shall I go out? Shall we? Charlatans. They got it, right? Where I went wrong with this one, the Jamaican fella, he had to have some aspirin. Why? It's my fault, you know, I'm not cutting, there's no point passing the book or anything. I said FD, a lot of people were saying, Fred Durst, like forehead hurts, which is a good one.
Yeah, which would have been as good as any of yours.
But I made an error, so we'll roll it over.
No. What is the answer? What was the answer? Jamaican fella what? Add some aspirin, why do that? What's the thing?
FP.
FP, it was Frida Payne.
Frida Payne.
Frida Payne.
Frida Payne.
Frida Payne. That's awful. You've got to write these down next week.
This is
I'm
right.
sorry,
You're the producer.
I know, but I've had a busy week, haven't I?
That's not an excuse. That isn't an excuse.
Our excuse is we don't care.
Yeah.
You
do
put
the work in and then make a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, it's better not to try than try your hardest and be rubbish. Do you see what the point? We don't care.
But you've got standards.
Yeah, and
you're not meeting them.
Think of that. You're not even reaching your standards. God.
Right, well that's that, I guess. Well, the prizes will be giving those away next week.
Bollocks again. Just completely...
Song for the ladies to end the show with. It's from Nick Cave's new album, Nocturama. This is a track called He Wants You. Back next week.
Remember, Frida Payne. go. Feeder, just the way I'm feeling. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. We've got a great show lined up this week, haven't we?
Go on, what have you got planned?
Well, I've got songs from David Bowie, Thin Lizzy, Gene, AC/DC, you heard Feeder there, you got, Smiths, all that. We got a great feature, a new feature. Spoke to Carl in the week, and we worked out a new feature where, people are gonna give him sort of like problems to solve. There could be scenarios, there could be management scenarios at work, you know, problem solving, things like that, organising things. He's a very good organiser, so I'll tell you what happened. He's dropping Do We Need Him, because he's getting fed up with scientists. He thinks there's a conspiracy and they're getting together, and they're never gonna lose an animal.
Right.
So he's just fed up with that. Rockbusters, we've got some great prizes.
Well, have you seen them yet?
No.
Be careful.
They're not gonna be great,
I
are
just
they?
peeked in, and all I'm going to say to you is, Fools and Horses Christmas Special?
Not the little one with the little car.
With the little car, yeah.
Brilliant. That is excellent. Carl, what have you got to say for yourself? Hold on, it was a rollover, wasn't it? Because you really mucked up Rockbusters last time. What was he doing? It was saying FP for the whole thing. No, FD you were saying, and it was Frida Payne.
Have you written the clues down this week? Because that seems like an obvious way to improve this.
Yeah, I write the
The
clues
week
down.
before he couldn't remember what the answer was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, you learn by your mistakes and that.
You don't.
Well. So,
So,
yeah.
shall I give you a little taster? But we were having a pizza in a pizza establishment. When was it? Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah.
And he was going, I'm a good organiser, I'm a good problem solver. Give me any scenario, right? Obviously he didn't say scenario. And I went, okay then, so you're the manager of this place, and there's a couple there, elderly couple, they're about 60. They've had a lovely meal. He went, yeah, right. I went, but the gentleman, he's got a little bit of a heart condition, he takes a pill after his meal, as he should, after meals. He's only taken Viagra.
Oh.
And now he's stuck in.
Wedged in?
Wedged in.
We've all been there.
It's gone, and it's stopping him getting out from the table.
Yeah.
So what would you do? He went, what? He's stuck in because of his dick. I went, yeah. He went, right. He said, I'd use the situation, I'd make cash. I said, you're not going anywhere, do you want a pudding?
Entrepreneurial. I like it, Carl.
And he went, so that's that sorted, I've got the job on that. Next, I went, okay. Another, you won't believe it. Next day, there's a little problem in the toilets. Two gay men were having sex and they got stuck in each other. Yeah, yeah. He went, right. I'd say, is it the same fella as yesterday with the Viagra? If so, why was he let in again? He was on the door.
Yeah.
I went, it's not, it's 2 He goes, right.
Does his wife know he's cheating on him?
Yeah. He went, right, I'd go down, I'd go, and then he went, I'd say this isn't a restaurant problem, call an ambulance. Strictly speaking, not a restaurant problem, no.
But am I right?
Huh?
Am I right?
Well, I don't know.
Would you give me the job if say, like, you were the boss of that restaurant and you...
Do you know what I like about this? At no point did he say, Gervais, why are you being so mental?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would someone get stuck because they took Viagra by mistake, and two people would get stuck in each
But
other?
you've heard the stories from his past. That is a perfectly legitimate situation to find yourself in. If you grew up in his part of
What would you
Manchester.
do if there was two fellas with big heads and webbed feet, and they had a horse in a... Well, what I'd do is... What would you do? What did you do when you first saw them?
What, saw the
kids-
lads with the big heads and
Yeah, yeah.
that? I
We should
thought-
very quickly remind people, if they didn't listen to that particular show, they had webbed hands.
Yeah.
Did they, or webbed feet?
Well, they had webbed hands
Right.
and big
And
heads.
enormous heads.
But it wasn't related.
But they weren't related
I know,
to each
they were
other.
completely
No,
separate
but I'm
people.
saying that the webbed hands isn't due to the fact they've got a big head.
No, sure.
It's two different things. We're just unlucky.
Yeah.
No, hold on. If they weren't related, and they both had webbed hands and big heads, I'm saying there was a condition that was related that had those two.
I don't think there was.
So what do you think the chances of that are? They're not related, and he goes, oh, you got a big head and webbed hands as well. Yeah, just a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah. I honestly don't think it was related.
Right.
Because I've since seen the same problem again on another kid with a big head. His hands look good.
Right. So you think the big head is just a separate issue?
Yeah, it's a totally different illness. It's like having a headache and a cold at the same time.
Right.
It's,
So
you know.
not always connected.
But the weird thing is, right, looking around in the week at weird stuff on the internet, there's this woman who's got a big head,
Oh yeah.
and she was fed up with it because when she was walking down the street,
Right.
right,
She couldn't hold it up.
Oh God! Oh God!
Okay, shut up.
so
She
when
couldn't hold it up.
when she was walking, her eyes were hurting because she had to sort of look up all the time because her head was that heavy. Her chin was sort of balanced on her chest.
Right. And she'd have to peek up. Yeah.
So she goes to the doctors, and this was after years and years, and said, I thought I could put up with it, but I can't. It's hurting my
How big
eyes.
was her head?
It's
I
big,
think
Rick.
I don't know if it was like big because there wasn't a picture. I don't know if it was just big or a lot of bone. so it was heavy.
Very heavy.
Right, like the Elephant Man, just
So
outcrops.
yeah, right. So the doctor said, we can sort that out. But we'll have to take your head off.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
well, listen
keep
to
going.
this.
Okay,
Listen,
keep going.
Because what you don't seem to understand is I have the same reaction to you when I see it.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
You're quizzical yourself.
So I looked at it, they took her head off, chipped away a bit of the bone, made her head lighter, put it back on.
Right, play the Smiths.
They took a woman's head off.
Yeah, this is Asked by the Smiths. Yeah.
And if you'd like to ask Carl something, details coming up soon. How's that?
Ask by the Smiths on XFM 104.9. So, what's the email, Carl? If people want to ask you something, a problem, they've got a problem to solve. It can be anything. It could be a personal problem. It could be a scenario. It could be about war. It could be anything. But
Or it could be more flippant, I suppose, and light-hearted.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, but I prefer stuff that I could
So you
sort
can get your teeth into.
and actually, sort out.
What, like war?
War is it's a bit big for me, that one.
Do you think?
I don't want to get into that.
What do you mean? If Tony Blair came to you and he went, Carl, listen, I'm having a bit of trouble here. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I've tried spin. I've tried being tough. I've tried backing down. I've tried getting other countries involved. They don't want to know. What do I do? What do I do? You don't know?
Tricky one. I don't
It's a
get,
tricky
I don't
one, it's a
get
tricky one,
involved. I don't worry about it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get in the bath, put a mattress on top of you. That's it.
Sorry, why are you doing that?
Ooh, slow down.
Why are you doing that?
That's what they say you do, isn't it? If it kicks off.
If what kicks off?
If there's a war and that, you get in the bath, put a mattress on top.
Right. Did they do that in the Second World War for 6 years?
Was that making bunk beds?
That's just what I read somewhere.
Yeah.
Is the bath full of water?
No. That'd be daft.
Okay.
But I think they were enamel bath then, though. I think they'd stop a bit of shrapnel. I think the plastic ones you get nowadays would probably melt on you. And the mattress, where your dad has cut it in half, all the foam would come out and the springs would get you in the eye.
Oh, talking about me dad. Steve, you'll love this, right?
Go on.
My dad hates being ripped off, right?
Yes. Well, no, I can relate to that. That's important.
Hates coming to London now. He always wants me to go and see them rather than come here, because he just thinks London is like a big rip-off. Last time he came, he got annoyed because I bought him a scone and a cup of tea for like 3 of us, and it was £14, and he just was livid. And then we had an argument about that, and then we went to the Millennium Wheel, and I said, do you fancy going on this? He said, oh, alright. And then he saw the price, and it was something like 20 quid or something. And he said, 20 quid to go up in the air to look at stuff that's on the ground. He said, I might as well stay on the ground.
Brilliant.
Right? Thought, good point.
His logic is impeccable.
So anyway, this is going on. Anyway, he spoke to me the other day. I said, how are things? Are you alright? And that. He said, oh, being ripped off. I said, why? He said he ordered, do you know the place where he got a new bed from because he cut the other one in half?
Yeah.
Right? He got this bed out of a catalogue. So he sorted out a payment on the phone. He said, look, you're ripping me off a bit here on the interest thing, but well, let's do a deal. We'll sort out a new monthly payment that's different to what it says in the catalogue. And they said, yeah, we'll go along with that. Anyway, so he sorted that out. He was happy. The bed arrived. It's a nice bed. He said, that's great. So anyway, he got the bill for it, and it was the original price.
Oh, I thought it might be the case, yeah.
Right? So he called up and said, I'm not happy with this. He said, we said a deal. And I'm like, oh, no, don't know what you're talking about. He said, right, don't send me your catalogues anymore. He said, I'm not buying anything from you. You're a rip-off merchant. Right? So anyway, few weeks go by. Post comes. Only another catalogue in the post.
He's livid.
Right? So he was well annoyed.
Yeah.
So he looked on the back, and it said on it, this catalogue will always be property of, the company that does it. So you can't throw it away. If we request to have it back, we've got the permission to get it back off you. Right? So he thought, right, well, they're out of order. I told them not to send me one, and they have done, and they're saying I can't chuck it away. So he called them up and said, alright, Mr. Pilkington here, bought a bed off you, you conned me, and that. But, forget that. We've dealt with that. You've sent me a catalogue, I told you not to. It says on the back here that this will always be yours. Yeah? So, in a way, you're using my house as a warehouse. I'll be charging you 26 pence or something a day.
Brilliant.
he said, you already owe me £6.28. Something like that.
Genius.
And, yeah, sorted it out. So again, you know, it's...
So hang on, but are they going along with this?
I don't know what happened. He said they sounded annoyed and said they'd get back to him, and they haven't. But he said, I'm not bothered. They can take as long as they want because the money just keeps going up.
Yeah.
So-
What sort of profit has he made so far?
Well, when I spoke to him in the week, it was like £6 odd.
Yeah.
I think that was on Tuesday. So he's you know, he's just leaving it.
He's
It's like
laughing.
an investment.
Yeah.
It's like an-
It's like an antique he's
it's
bought.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just going up every day. So,
Well, keep us posted on that. That's
Yeah,
dynamite.
it's
One day we need to speak to your father.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
many questions
I think
need to
we
be
do.
asked of him.
In fact, I might sit and give you a letter to take home.
Yeah.
Dear Mr. Pilkington, your son Carl.
New single from Nick Cave. I think you'll
I'm
enjoy
looking forward to it.
Yeah. That's the forthcoming single from Nick Cave from his album Nocturama. That's called Bring It On.
That's great. I must admit, I was a latecomer to Nick Cave.
He's
I was,
extraordinary, yeah.
I mean, years into his solo stuff before, you know, I decided that he was brilliant.
Yeah,
He's fantastic.
He's fantastic. I had some exciting news this week, Carl. You'll be pleased to find out. I'm worried that you might get a little bit jealous because it's obviously going to impact on your world quite strongly. Because I know you think you like things to be quite samey. You like the status quo to be maintained. You like the fact that in the past, you know, we've had some crosswords. You know, because I remember what.
so I'm just being honest about a lot of people who see you for the first time sort of go, well, he's a bit weird.
I know that, Steve, that you brought it up, and then you're again.
But I'm sure that wasn't what he said before.
No,
did
he
say
did.
before?
Yeah, well,
he's a bit weird.
Yeah, well, he looked at you, and I knew. I could see by the look on his face. You know when you know your kid, and your kid's sort of scared of something, and they go, "Why's your kid?" He goes, "Oh, he doesn't like pigeons or spiders."
Right.
It was like that when I saw Carl, and I brought you in, and I went, "What do you think of that, Carl?" I could see the look on his face that he was disturbed.
Sure.
And then, as he said, you get used to it, don't you?
Yeah, you get used to it. And you have changed a little bit. Your hair's a bit smarter now, and you've got some nicer glasses and that, I think. Or I might have just got used to it.
Whoa! Don't bring it up, Steve. Don't
Well-
look at me like that.
So you say that you think some other people in the office thought the same? Do you know that for sure? Did
Carl.
you discuss it?
Carl.
Yeah, I think they do, yeah.
Okay, leave it there then.
But not just in the office, as you walk through the building.
Oh, it's
done.
worse than you ever thought.
Well, no, it's not worse than I ever thought because, as you well know, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
What did I do on Thursday morning?
Oh, is this the thing?
For those that perhaps are not of the female persuasion listening, there's a magazine. Apparently, it sells quite well. It's one of the sort of female, you know, kind of issues magazines. I think it's called Company Magazine. You know, it's like your sort of, I guess it's a bit like your Moore or your Vanity Fair or
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, they run every year the 50 most eligible bachelors in Great Britain section. Ding dong, hello. Who's in there this year? In the 50, in the top 50 of the entire country.
And then they vote, and they put them in order and see who's the most eligible bachelor.
But that's 50 people, right? It always annoys me slightly because bachelor, it kind of seems like a more sophisticated word for loser, doesn't it?
no.
Which always sort of unnerves me
And also,
slightly.
they try and do a different 50 every year, so they're
But-
getting pretty desperate to get different ones.
No,
you know,
no,
there's
no,
not
no,
many.
no, no,
Because
no.
also, a lot of people who are sort of like successful, are married, so there's very little to.
No,
Go on, then.
There's a huge. I don't know if this is international. It could even be international. I'm not
Sure.
sure actually. So I
Sure.
could be up there with the likes of Justin Timberlake,
Sure.
etc. So Fred Durst.
Yeah.
That sort of person, you know. So anyway, this is what's exciting, right? Although I'm slightly frustrated because they were telling me that last year, alright, because what happens is the readers of the magazine, they vote for who they think is number one, most eligible bachelor, right? Last year, the prize was a 2-week trip in the Bahamas, okay? This year, I'm rather annoyed, because all I'm gonna win is a moped. That's the prize this year, that's the prize this year, a moped.
Whoa, backtrack.
What?
Sorry? Last year was a 2-week trip to Bahamas, and this year
Just
what?
a moped, all I'm gonna get is a
All
moped.
you're gonna win is a moped.
Yeah, I'm
You're
so-
not you got no chance.
You
You've
haven't
got
enough.
no chance.
You
Who
haven't
else is in it? Who else is in it?
Well, I mean, I don't know, lots of them are people you'd never heard of. I know Duncan from Blue is in
Ding.
this.
So,
No.
so you're second to him at least already. I imagine you're gonna come behind the other 49.
No,
So,
no,
but,
no,
but, you
because
know,
there'll
but-
be people voting for me. They
yeah,
get to vote for me.
Yeah, Steve.
They'll
I
see,
was-
they'll see my photo and then they can vote for me.
Yeah, according to he, I was 22nd most sexy man in the world.
I better take that helmet back.
I would.